Okay, everybody, so in this tutorial, we're going to do a simple contact sheet or proof sheet. What a contact sheet or proof sheet is just a group of thumbnails of your images all lumped together on one or several pages of photos. And it's really an easy process, and it's a good way when we get into editing your images to begin to look at sort of the whole package of what you've shot, getting sort of an overview of all the images you have, and then beginning to use this as a basis for narrowing down the images that you're going to select for your final project. So to do that, you're going to need a piece of software named Adobe Bridge, which should be part of your Adobe Creative Cloud membership if you're using that. If you're just using the Canisius computers, you're going to find this under your Adobe applications here. So you want to just launch Bridge like this. This is the window pane that you'll come up with here. Let me just optimize this for our tutorial. And then it's as simple as this. You've just got to navigate to where the images are that you're looking for. In this case, I'm going to pick a series of images that are on my hard drive. And we'll go into there and we'll grab some maybe Canisius Athletics images. And let's try this one. I think I have a test folder set up. Go to the test folder. There's all of your individual images right there. And then I'm just going to select all. To do that, you can just hit the Command and the A button on your computer. So I did select all like that. And then go up to your menu item here, over to Tools. Go down to Photoshop. And then just over to Contact Sheet 2. Click on that. And you notice it's going to open up in a separate window in Photoshop. And then it's going to ask you some questions or ask you to set up a template here. In this, we're just going to do a simple 8x10 template. 300 pixels per inch. And then here's the key thing here, the thumbnails. We're going to do 5 across and 6 rows down. So if you want to switch that, you could switch that to any number. But as you'll see when this one comes up, it'll give us a nice page full of thumbnails to look at that we can begin selecting from then. So you hit OK when you are ready. And as my computer gets up to speed here, it begins to automatically generate these images, and in a brief moment here we are going to see them come up on our page there. So you see them starting to appear now as little thumbnails on that page. One thing I want to point out at this point, while this is still working, notice on the file names of these photos, on the appendix of it, which is the words or letters or numbers after the dot. If you notice, these images have dot CR2. That means these are camera raw files. So CR2 is the proprietary name for the camera raw files that come out of Canon cameras. So if you're using any kind of Canon camera and you're shooting in camera raw, which you all should be for where we are in the semester, then you should have camera raw as your appendix name on here. If it's coming up as .jpeg, you are not selecting the raw images, or you have not been shooting in camera raw, which I should remind everyone that for your final project you are required to shoot in camera raw. So all the images that you put in your final project must be displayed as camera raw images. So as this works through here, you'll see we get a full page of images, and then all you have to do after that is just go in File, Save As, and you can save them wherever you want to save them. I recommend changing it to a JPEG from a Photoshop format, because a Photoshop file is going to be really large for submission into D2L. So switch it over to a JPEG, name it whatever your last name is. My last name's obviously Wolf, so I'm going to call it Wolf1 contact, and then save that. Hit the save button. Sorry, the save button's below the screen there, but you guys hopefully know where the save button is. And then when your JPEG options come up, just save it as a high resolution JPEG somewhere in 910. And as soon as this gets done thinking, which will be a second here, that will be completed and you are good to go. So then if we close Photoshop out here, we close Bridge out, and then we just go to our desktop, we can see there is our contact sheet with proofs of our images and the appendix names that references the numbers and the file types. So that is what I am looking for out of this assignment. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.